Hello, this is the Fin of Fine, and this is a new type of video formatting style for the daily videos that will be dropping now, for a little while, at least. And I will be a great artist, and more, because I'm mainly just a writer right now who's written and published nothing. That's soon to change. I also apologize for the horrendous editing that will be going over this, because talking coherently, is not something I do. But the next couple of videos I have will be focused on character design and development. And today, as a black guy, we'll be looking at the blacker guys, silhouettes. And after that, we'll be looking at more things. I have a lot of books here, such as Pixar's color scripts, and a whole bunch more, like The Mythical Beast, a artist's field guide to designing fantasy creatures, and The Bestiary of Dragopedia, another artist's guide to creating mythical creatures. And we'll be looking at characters and designs and art styles, as well as animations, because, I'm more than just an artist or a writer. I'm an animator. I plan to make movies, shows, comics, books, all the shit I want, and build my own studio off of that, hopefully. So I have the art of Avatar, the artwork of Hayao Miyazaki, the art of Diablo, and one of my favorite art styles and aesthetics for creature design, multiple books of Monster Hunter illustrations, and a host more that I don't feel like pulling out of the shelves. But for today's video, we'll look at the silhouettes. And what is a silhouette? Simply put, a silhouette is the outline of something, a person, animal, or object represented as a solid shape and color, usually black. Here are some examples. Silhouettes play a crucial role in art for several reasons, whether it's character design, just illustration, graphic design, pretty much any visual medium. But in character creation, I'd say it's mainly for its readability, recognizability, simplicity, and balance. Cartoon silhouettes use shape language probably the best for their iconic characters to make them so much more identifiable than anything else by simple traits alone, such as the shape of their hair and face. This is especially important for conveying the essence of the character at a glance, so everyone knows their form and identity.
Who's that?
Okay, now it's definitely a Bulbasaur. No,
Pikachu!
what is that? No.
And the reduction of detail can make the subject even more iconic and memorable, so that even if your character blends in with the visual style of other characters, its outline is unique to itself. In this image of cartoon character silhouettes, how many can you recognize? Leave it in the comments below. Going beyond just the character design and outline, silhouettes can help with style exploration, allowing artists to experiment with different shapes, lines, and negative spaces. It can lead to very unique and innovative design choices and artwork, and silhouettes are used even more widely outside of just character design, such as in branding. Pretty much any logo in itself can be or is already a silhouette, which goes back to the simplicity and recognizability of it. Simple shape language, but iconic design. If you want to get a grasp of the silhouette uses of others, I suggest looking at quizzes online. There are many variations of cartoon silhouette quiz and stuff of that nature. The Pokemon anime and video games are probably the best uses of using silhouettes in a practical sense, from to guess the Pokemon to unlock characters. But let's not forget you can use silhouettes in scenes as well, to establish a visual hierarchy, as silhouettes can be used to help establish position and even backgrounds. They can even help add a layer of depth, such as in mountains, with the visual contrast of silhouettes against bolder elements, making your subject stand out. Here in this book of Monster Hunter illustrations, the silhouette of the person is used to help establish how the weapon looks and is utilized. There's also a bunch of symbolism involved since many silhouettes can hold symbolic and cultural significance, such as the triangle for the Illuminati. I think one of the simplest, most iconic silhouettes in existence belongs to Nike, the swoosh. And creating a silhouette can even be a preliminary step by making the outline and form and then filling it in with a bunch of complexity and detail, which can either be excruciating or time-saving. It all depends on how you plan. And to help me understand silhouettes and coloring better, I bought a few books, coloring books, in the style of pop manga and semi-realism to ultra-realism, filled with animals. I'm not sure how clear this is. Filled with animals. Pop manga style, which is the style with the really big eyes. And I really like how they draw dragons. Dragons and creatures will be a great staple in many of my stories as I build pretty much everything from the society to the history of the world to the creatures involved from the ground up. I've got a problem building high concept or high fantasy stories. But eventually I'll go through these books by Simon Mendez. Can't pronounce the last name, so I'm gonna butcher it. Reco. And Kirby Rosan's, who does a glorious job of filling up the page. Just look at that. Look at all that. Hold on, let me find a double page spread. And that's more to help me understand line, weights, and color. But specifically, it helped me understand just silhouettes. I bought a bunch. Shit, what are these called again? Stencils. Yes, drawing template stencils. Because those are true silhouette. Just the outline and nothing but the outline of the figure. So let's look at my first and right now only real use of silhouettes for my Monster Hunter fanfic, Expedition Extraordinaires, which will come out later this fall or early winter. I wanted to craft each of the main crew of 8 as if they were their own main character, and the silhouette was to show the pose for personality, but mainly their weapons and clothing artifacts. In hindsight, I do think I chose some good poses, but not enough to highlight specific points of their armor. Or maybe I'm just being too nitpicky. Who knows? My skill will definitely advance by the time I get there. But as you can see from the silhouette, and if you're familiar with Monster Hunter weapons, it's pretty evident what weapon each character possesses. A nice little scale of all the characters with the giant in the background, only showing his head. Starting September 1st, I'll start doing daily videos for a little while, showcasing all the drawings I've done and the absolute horde of original characters I've crafted for the stories, because they require thousands and thousands of people to fill them. From background characters to secondary characters, tertiary characters, main characters, and antagonists. Because as I said before, characters in a story don't just exist in a void, unless they're, isolated case, apocalyptic stories, or, or stranded or in isolation, which will seldom be the case in my tales. So understanding the aspects of character creation is key. And this has been me understanding and talking about silhouettes. Hope you enjoyed or learned something. If not, well, subscribe. There's a shit ton more coming. And comment on what books I should go through. Pretty much everything's on the table. I spent well over $1,000 on getting books. So, I have quite a lot to choose. quite a lot of material to go through. Next couple of videos, we'll be looking at the character designs of others through the video game, animation, and comic book industries. But that's all for now. Hakuna Matata. And if you don't know, that's how I say goodbye.